Mary couldn't lead me to the corner. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 10. And the name of the episode is called The Higher the Hair, the Closer to God. Okay? So the episode started off, we're at Whitney's house. Whitney threw a surprise potluck at her house in honor of Britney. Remember, Britney was attacked on the flight from Barbados by Meredith and Lisa, or so they claim, okay? Now, the fact that these women showed up for Britney after what happened lets me know something went down on that plane that Lisa and Meredith are not admitting to, okay? Now, as far as I'm concerned, they did it, and it's not even up for discussion.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
Again, we've seen Meredith throw water on Britney 3 times when they was on that yacht. Twice, she was being a bully and making it seem like it was a part of a game that Britney never agreed to, okay? And then one time when she was upset with Britney. Then we saw Meredith get upset and threw her headband that had an axe on it at Britney at the zombie dinner, right? So I feel like if she did that on camera, it's not hard for me to believe that she escalated it further when the cameras were down. That's just what I think, okay? Now, apparently when Heather ended up coming into Whitney's house, the house stunk because of broccoli. Yes, broccoli does stink, especially when you steam it. I steam broccoli twice a day, and it smells like somebody farted. It's similar to a smell when you cook greens, or either when my mother or my aunt cook greens. That's the kind of smell that it smells like, okay? Now, everybody was invited to this potluck at Whitney's house except for Meredith and Lisa, of course. And I don't think that Bronwyn should have been there, right? I believe that if Bronwyn was on the plane, that she probably would have been grabbing Britney's hair and throwing wine on the bitch too. I do. She already stole the unicorn. She stole the unicorn, so to me, she started it off.
You got me fucked up.
Okay? Now, all of the girls, except for Mary, thought that it would be a good idea to tease their hair and to play on the high body count hair from last year. Britney ended up coming in. She was surprised. She immediately knew that they all had high body count hair, and she loved it. I can tell that she genuinely liked being celebrated by the women in the group, and I thought that that was nice that they took the time out to do that for her, okay? Now, since Bronwyn ended up stealing Britney's bear, she had like a Build-A-Bear station there where all of the women made bears. They had sweet messages to Britney in them, all of them except for the devil herself. And I don't know. I didn't think that that was a good gesture. Well, okay, let me explain. I don't think that it was a good gesture from Bronwyn. Let me explain for a second. This is all what I'm saying is fucked up. What I'm saying is, I thought that it was lazy. Not from the women, from Bronwyn specifically. I thought that that was okay what she did, right? But coming from Bronwyn, I think that Bronwyn should have reached out to Jared and had him record the message again, put it back in the unicorn, and gifted it to her on top of the other women. But all of these messages from these women, and I like the gesture from the women, right? But that is not going to make up about the unicorn of mine that you stole and you gave to this bitch to ruin and throw in the water, right? I don't think that. I thought that was lazy. I thought that Bronwyn should have reached out. Maybe she'll hear this video.
Girl.
Maybe she'll hear this video, or people could make enough noise about it on Twitter, and she probably do it at the reunion. But I think that she should have did something to replace what she stole. What do they call it in court? Retribution. It should have been a retribution. You should have went and got Jared, recorded it again, and put it in a unicorn. Okay. Now let's get to Whitney, because that Whitney is messy. Whitney called out Bronwyn for not wearing her wedding ring.
See, that's a dirty ass bitch right there.
I think that is just so dishonorable, and I don't even really like Bronwyn like that, right? To me, if Bronwyn came to you to tell you something in private, it's supposed to stay there until she bring it up, right? So she had already gave Whitney the details on the situation that she was going through with Todd. So why would Whitney wait until she's in front of the girls and call it out in front of the group? You're supposed to let the women notice that she's not wearing a wedding ring and bring it up, or let Bronwyn bring it up. You're not supposed to do it yourself, Whitney. To me, I think that that's dishonorable. I think that that's dishonorable. Okay. They talked about Lisa and Meredith, Britney, and briefly. Heather shared that Lisa said that nothing happened, that they was talking about her and she overheard it. They didn't think that she would hear because she had on headphones. Listen, I'm not mad at Meredith and Lisa for not admitting to nothing. If you gonna have me to admit to something, you're gonna have to have some receipts.
Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts.
You're gonna have to have some receipts. And me, I'm still gonna maneuver my way out the shit. Or try to maneuver my way throughout the shit. You know what I'm saying? My mama ain't raised no bitch. I'm gonna fight to the end. Now we get Mary. Mary is with her son, her uncle Pookie, and they go back to the church. She said that the church has been in their family for over 60 years, but this is the first time they renovated it, and it took 2 years to renovate. And they're excited to have the doors open. Okay. Now, Robert Jr. shared that when he was in rehab in Malibu, that they had a meeting, and a lot of people there felt powerless because they didn't believe in a higher power, but he knew who his higher power was. Okay. He also shared that all of his friends that he was cool with relapsed, and I'm not sure if he was, because they didn't say rehab, he kept on saying Malibu. He just said that all his friends that he was cool with relapsed, and I'm not sure if he was saying that the people that he was friends with before he went to rehab, or friends that he was hanging with in Salt Lake City, or he was talking about the friends that he ended up meeting in rehab in Malibu, that they are rehabs. And if all of the friends that he met in Malibu relapsed, then that wasn't, I wonder what type of facility that was.
What kind of bullshit is that?
I wonder what type of facility that was, where everybody in there relapsed. Okay. In that moment, though, I felt like that he was trying to tell Mary that he relapsed or that he was struggling with his sobriety. Okay. And I feel like that Mary should have asked him, was he struggling or how is he doing? Because sometimes people aren't going to come out and directly say what they're trying to say. They will indirectly say what they want to say to kind of get a feel of your reaction, to see if it's safe. And then if they deem it safe, they will tell you what's really going on, right? Mary asked him, did she tell them to pray? And he said that he didn't want to push it on people. And I think that that's the misconception about prayer, is that all you can do is just pray and that's it. In some scenarios, I think that will work. However, you have to do your part as well. Now, I do believe that with God, you can come up out of anything, but you have to be ready. And I'm not convinced that Robert Jr. is ready. I think that there is some other stuff going on with Robert Jr. Next, we got Lisa. Lisa is having dessert with her husband. Did y'all see that big ass piece of lemon cake they bought Lisa? I can't wait for my cheat day. Baby, that was a big ass piece of cake and it looks good too. Lisa and John haven't been on the same page, which is why he undermined her when she was trying to give advice to Henry the other day. Okay, yes. And it's so funny because I felt like that he was trying to gaslight her when they was at the table. Okay, Lisa expressed that it irritated her when John tried to undermine her and advice that she was giving to Henry, and that after John undermined her, Henry took John's side. Okay, John said that he felt like Lisa was trying to tell Henry how to think, and he was explaining to her what it came off as a man. I think that John was dead ass wrong. I think that parents are supposed to have a united front in front of the kids. I think that if John had an issue with whatever advice Lisa was giving to Henry, he should have had spoken to her in private about it and allowed Lisa to revisit the conversation with Henry and make any corrections, if there were any corrections that needed to be made, right? But you can tell that this isn't John's normal behavior, which is why Lisa brought it up in the first place, because he normally doesn't do that. I think that John was being passive aggressive. I think that since he and Lisa aren't really seeing eye to eye, he's trying to take the reins in raising Henry because he's a boy. And what he did was he showed a total disregard for whatever advice Lisa has or was given because she's a woman, right? Like, nigga, what the fuck do you mean what it looks like to me as a man? Lisa is a woman. And as a woman, she can tell her son or give her son advice from a woman's point of view. Would he be saying that if Henry was a girl? Or would he like his advice to be undermined because he's a man if they was talking to a daughter? Right? Like, yes, Henry is a young man, but he is going to have to deal with women in life. And I think it's disrespectful, and it is essentially teaching Henry how to disrespect or disregard women when he doesn't feel like they're on the same page. I saw my dad do it with my stepmama all the time. He did it all the time. And you cannot like Lisa, but still admit that John was out of line in a scenario when it comes to Henry specifically, okay? Now, John said that he feels like the reason that him and Lisa aren't on the same page is because most of their conversations is about business, okay? And the other reason John feels like they're not on the same page is because he isn't on Lisa's page and everything has to be about Lisa, okay? He said that he suggests things that they do and Lisa always shuts it down and he feels like that she doesn't listen, okay? Lisa don't listen. Lisa don't listen. I feel like whenever Lisa is talking, it's always like Lisa is trying to win an argument. She just seems so bullheaded and like anytime she's talking, it's just like she's just, you know what I'm saying? Just like she's so bullheaded and she's trying to win. And I also think me seeing Lisa with the women and Lisa with John, she doesn't seem like a person who can ever find fault in herself or in her actions. From the conversation they had, it seemed to me like John is tired and John is done. And I felt like that he was getting ready to say that at the table, but he realized that the cameras were there. That's what I thought. That's what I saw. Did y'all see it? Let me know if y'all saw it. I felt like he was getting ready to say, look, I'm done with this shit. But the cameras was there. He realized the cameras was there, okay? Britney ended up meeting with Jared at the park. Now, if you're supposed to be on the 30-day break from Jared for a better relationship with your daughter, then to me, that means 30 days. We're talking about your child. Your life is supposed to depend on this. You are not supposed to be meeting with Jared. The only thing that is remotely acceptable in stopping this 30-day break from Jared is if Britney was in the hospital and near death, right? Jared should have only been called if he was going to go say his last goodbyes. And I'm not trying to disregard or minimize anything that Britney went through on the plane. I'm just saying, baby, you didn't call the police, right? The police were not called. So why are we speaking with Jared? Why? So apparently Whitney and Justin are the messiest motherfuckers in Salt Lake City because Jared said that he went and he spoke to Justin and Justin told him that Britney was flirting with Captain Jason and all of the cabin crew on the yacht in Canawan.
Wow.
It can be.
Really?
And you would think that people like Whitney and Justin being a part of the lifestyle that they're in, that they would just keep shit like that quiet. But no, baby, they around here running their mouth. Okay? Britney said that she thought that they was on the break. But girl, just because you on the break don't mean that you can go and fuck any old body. And I feel like in this day and age, when people say that they're going on the break, there should be rules and parameters set in place because we've seen people say that they want to break from somebody and people just run them up, right? But I think that when you're on a break for somebody, there should be rules and parameters. And one of them should be like, don't embarrass me and don't do nothing that you wouldn't want done to you. And so, Britney, you going on the yacht trying to flirt with every old body, that is embarrassing. And it would be different if you was on the yacht and you wasn't being filmed. Not only are you being filmed on Salt Lake City, you're going to be being filmed on Below Deck. Right? And then not only, I mean, your cast is around you, right? So the shit is going to be brought back to Jared.
You're looking stupid.
And excuse me if I'm getting Jared and Justin name mixed up. I think that I've been pretty on point, but I feel like with both of the J's, it's gonna fuck me up, right? But I feel like that Britney is gaslighting Justin, right? Because she is the one who asked for the 30-day break for her daughter. Right? So you asked me for a 30-day break. We do the 30-day break, and then you go, all of a sudden, you go on this yacht to Canawan, and now you flirting with all of the niggas on the yacht, all of the crew. So I get why Jared is bringing it up, okay? So then Britney started crying, trying to avoid accountability, right? By now bringing up what happened on the plane. Girl, but one thing ain't got shit to do with the other. And it wouldn't work on me. You did not contact the police. You didn't call the laws. You didn't file a restraining order, right? You did not contact the authorities and you still filming the show. So I don't want to hear shit about what happened on that plane when I get to talking to you about trying to fuck every nigga that was on the yacht.
Point blank, period.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? And so Brittany then asked, well, what are we doing? And he said that he was looking for somebody who was stable. And I can tell that they hit a nerve with Brittany. Okay? Brittany, to me, is a beautiful woman. But the way that she behaves, I do wonder a lot about her upbringing. Right? Like, how was her mother? Did she live from pillar to post growing up? Is she the youngest child? Is she the only child? Or maybe she was the child that wasn't paid attention to, right? Because she do seem a little dingy. But I do think that that will also answer a lot of questions about who Brittany is as a mother. So I think that, we probably will never find out until she becomes full-time, because they don't really, we don't really dive into the friends of families like that. Well, we don't really dive into the Real Housewives like that unless it's a part of their storyline, right? Okay. Brittany says that he's asked Jared what are they doing so many times and he doesn't give her a definitive answer. That is the answer, right? But Brittany, you're not helping yourself by flirting with every dick that you come in contact with. And then I can understand you flirting with Captain Jason, right? He's the captain. He running the ship. He running the yacht, right? But the crew, bitch, do better. Stuff your pussy up. You up here flirting with somebody on the yacht that's serving drinks?
You are a dumb hoe.
No, ma'am. That's embarrassing. Okay? Then we got Bronwyn. Todd is back home. Okay? Bronwyn said that Todd called and said, it's good to hear from you. Well, that's what we heard. We saw it we saw it. He said it's good to hear from you. But I can't tell. I can't tell because every time we see Todd, he looks mean and Shirley and he looks cantankerous. Right? Bronwyn told him that she wanted to have a conversation with him about what happened in person, meaning on camera. Catch, okay? Because I felt like that she wanted to embarrass him. Okay? Did you see when she came home, when she was at the house, she said, Todd, are you here? Todd didn't even answer her. Todd didn't even answer her. He don't want to film on this show. So they got to talking. She said that she was upset last week. He said that he was too. But excuse me? Excuse me? Nigga, what the fuck did I do to you? What did I do to you? So in my head, I feel like that he probably was upset that she went on the trip and he wanted her to quit the show after her past charges and court records came up, right? He probably was thinking these bitches digging all in your past and shit. You get what I'm saying? You got shit sealed that's being covered up. It's being brought back up and your past is brought up. Next thing they're going to be digging on me. I want you to quit the show for my shit comes to the forefront. And she chose to continue to go. So he probably was upset and said, I can show you. You must not know about me, and tried to have another one of her. Okay? Bronwyn went on this tangent about when Todd cheats, it makes her feel like that she's not enough. I would never think that. I would never think that. It's not that I don't think that like my shit don't stink, but I would just think that it was something wrong with my partner, and we would be done. Like if you cheated and those are the rules of our relationship, that we're not going, we're not going to step out on each other. You broke the commitment. And so at this point, I'm not worried about what happened. We just got to separate. And it's also giving me that it was more than this nigga on a plane looking at pictures of a bitch. But I think that's all Bronwyn wants to admit to, baby. It's way more than him just looking at some pictures, girl. It's way more than that, girl. You can't fool me, Bronwyn, okay? So she tries to introduce the idea of an open relationship to Todd. And I think that Bronwyn needs to be careful because she done introduced an open relationship to the conversation, and Todd gonna end up finding a bitch that's better than you, that's cuter than you, and more pulled up than you, bitch.
A bitch that's better than you, that's cuter than you, and that's more pulled up than you, bitch.
And she gonna have Todd's nose so wide open, they done been added your ass out the equation. All of a sudden, it's going to be something that happened at work and all of the money is gone. And the money will be gone, but it'll be moved to somebody else's account to get rid of your ass without him having to pay.
You stupid, girl.
Todd said that he's comfortable in the relationship that they have right now. And I think that some people cheat because they like the thrill, right? So sneaking around and not getting caught is like a thrill for him. You letting him know, oh, you can go in for a cut. You can go for that ain't fun. I don't want to do it no more. Right? Because now I gotta include you in what I'm doing. And I probably don't want you to be into everything that I'm into. You get what I'm saying? He probably like chicks with dicks.
Yes.
No shade, no shade.
And he probably don't want Bronwyn knowing that he likes chicks with dicks. All you need to know is that she a chick. You don't need to know that he wants titties on his back. I really believe that Bronwyn is the one who secretly wants an open relationship. Okay? They've been married for 11 years and he probably ain't doing it right. And she probably needs somebody to hold her down. You know what I'm saying? She probably needs somebody to make her feel good. Right? She probably wants somebody to touch her on the inside and call her name.
Girl, I'm telling you.
And I think that Bronwyn thinks that if she agrees that he can sleep with other people, then that means that she can too. And I could be wrong, but I don't think that that's going to work with her. He don't seem like that type of nigga. Especially if the nigga that you want to touch you on the inside and call your name ain't going to keep you dripped in Gucci and gold. Did you see her cry? Tell me, can I cry on Gucci? Especially if the nigga ain't gonna keep you dripped in Gucci and gold like he having to pay. Because Todd was with you. Todd know he gotta pay like he weighed. And so if you go cheat with another nigga who probably is attractive, right? He may not gonna have no money like Todd got, and then Todd gonna feel slighted. You get what I'm saying? That's the whole game. That's the whole game.
Message.
Bronwyn also shared with Todd that she had a conversation with Whitney about their sex life. Todd was upset, and he doesn't understand why the conversation with him or about him can't just stay in the home. And I feel like that Bronwyn is playing in Todd's motherfucking face. What Letitia say? I feel like people playing in my motherfucking face.
Hey, playing in my face.
Bronwyn is sitting up here talking about she's trying to help. Todd is way better than me. Because I would have told Bronwyn on camera, bitch, if you don't tell them about what's going on in the sealed documents, don't tell them bitches shit about me. Y'all would have been mad at me. Y'all would have canceled me. Since these relationships so important to you, tell them hoes what's in them sealed documents. If you don't tell them hoes what's in the sealed documents, don't tell them bitches shit about me. Period. Okay? And Bronwyn, I see you. I see you, Bronwyn. I think that Bronwyn is trying to embarrass Todd on camera, and she's trying to get him to give her an ultimatum. Either quit the show or he's going to file for divorce, and she's trying to force him to file for divorce so she could end up with a payday. Because from what I looked up, she doesn't have a prenup. And so in that scenario, she would be a woman scorned without a prenup. And as they said in one of my favorite movies from Tyler Perry, my favorite movie from Tyler Perry, The Family That Prays, baby, a woman scorned without a prenup is a recipe for good living.
Message.
Baby, that is a recipe for good living. And she trying to get that nigga to leave her. And he taking too long. Okay? So Mary is back at the church. The church is back open. Mary pulled up in all red like the devil himself or herself, okay? Robert Jr. isn't there because she said when they got into the car, he was high.
You can't do that.
He was high, okay? Now, I could be wrong, but I think it's a lot of shit that Robert Jr. is dealing with, okay? First of all, his mama is his niece.
Yes, niece. Yes, niece.
Okay, and his daddy is also his grandpa. And so that is enough right there to send anybody spiraling out of control, right? He's the only child. He probably felt like that he was left alone. And Mary seems to me like a person who is really into herself. And so on the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like Robert Jr. was really paid attention to.
I'm sorry. I have to be honest about it.
Right? The fact that he is out of rehab now, and from the conversation that we saw that he had with her last year, baby, I would be kicking down doors and stuff to make sure Robert Jr. ain't doing nothing, right? But we got Mary, and I'm not saying that she's supposed to still live her life, but I don't think that there would be locked doors in my house or shut doors in my house with my son that was in rehab until I felt like he was a year or two clean.
No more locked doors. Gracias.
Then we can build back that trust again. But you mean to tell me that Robert Jr. got high in your house where you was there, and he was high getting on the way to on the way to church? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay. Mary invited all of the women to church except for Britney, probably because Meredith and Lisa was going to be there. And let's be real, they hold rank over Britney because they actually hold a snowflake. They actually hold a snowflake. So if we got to pick between Britney and Meredith and Lisa, we pick Meredith and Lisa. Okay. None of them have ever been to Mary's church before except for Whitney. Okay. So Whitney is on the way there with Heather. And she's trying to give her a heads up on what to expect because the black church is an experience, baby.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Be very clear.
I just thought it was so funny, and I think that it is so funny to hear the way white people say the word Lord, right? Because when we say it, and when I say we, I mean as Southern blacks. I don't know if all black people say it like this, but we say the Lord, like Lord, like, you know, LAWD, Lord, you know. And Whitney was saying the Lord, you know, and it's almost like that we're talking about two different beings. Okay. Bronwyn was the first one there. Bronwyn looked scared, baby. Bronwyn looked like she'd been around a million niggas before. Okay. And she looked like she was standing in the back, trying to blend in. Okay. And you could tell she looked so relieved when she saw Angie. But baby, when Angie pulled up, baby, Angie looked sharp, baby. You would have thought it was Easter Sunday, baby. Baby, Angie looked good.
Yes, bitch.
And you can tell that Mary really is Angie's sister because when she pulled up, she knew people from the church. She was hugging people. She was hugging on Debbie, baby. She was high-fiving and stuff, right? And it was like she would have been fine without Bronwyn. Bronwyn needed her. She was going to go in and mix with the crowd. And I love to see that, okay? Whitney and Heather came, and they're wondering if Lisa and Meredith are going to show up. Whitney said if they showed up, they would probably be sweating like two whores in church. And Heather said, I've never heard of a whore burning before. Now, around my way, the saying is they would be sweating like a hooker in church. So it's just so funny how you hear people from different areas say stuff, okay? Lisa and Meredith did pull up before the women come inside, and Meredith had on a boot. Heather then asked Meredith why she had on a boot. Was it from kicking Britney?
Too much.
Now, see, that's the shit that I be talking about because it kind of waters down what y'all say happened. Okay? Because now all of a sudden, she done kicked Britney. And I'm just saying, even if it was a joke, it shouldn't have been a joke. I never heard of her kicking Britney. Okay? We heard they cussed her out. They pulled her hair. They threw wine on her. They pulled on her seat. They demanded her phone. Now, all of a sudden, Meredith done kicked the bitch. Right? Then they're going to be saying that she pinched the bitch. We got to keep it on. We can't be adding extra stuff in it because it muddies the waters and it made me not believe what y'all got going on now. Now, I believe y'all based off of what Mary said and based off of Meredith's behavior. But Whitney, Heather, you're doing too fucking much. You're doing too much. You can't keep on adding shit now. Now, what made me think that they did do it again, Lisa gonna say she never touched Britney and neither did I.
Bitch, you're lying.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Meredith can't answer for herself. Like, Lisa got too much on it. Like, okay, I'm gonna be speaking for both of us. No, baby, Meredith can answer for herself. But I will say this, Meredith. This is what Lisa means when she say that you don't have her back like a sister. You don't have her back like a sister. You don't hold her down. Cause she holding you down right, you know what I'm saying? In your face. And you got all your faculties. You could talk and you could defend yourself. You probably can't run. Okay? So baby, they got inside, baby. And Aunt Debbie was at the pulpit. Baby, Aunt Debbie was at the pulpit. And baby, you can tell that Aunt Debbie done been through some things, baby. Let's just say she looked like she was in Malibu a couple of times with Robert Jr.
Yes, baby.
And baby, you can tell that Aunt Debbie knew that them Bravo cameras was rolling, baby, because she got the shouting, baby. And I really want to hear her testimony. I really want to hear her testimony. Okay? They wasn't having church, baby. They was having church! Mary got got behind the pulpit, baby, she was dressed in all red. I mean, it's giving devil. Why are we in all red, Mary? Why are we in all red? And she had a gold microphone. And I was waiting for Mary to give me a word, right? Give me something. Let me think that you're a real woman of the cloth, but she didn't give me nothing. None of her words spoke to me at all, personally. Okay? She got to talking about her mama dying and how she wasn't invited to the funeral. I don't know how y'all feel. I don't give a damn what's going on. I don't give a damn who got what going on. My mama, I'm going to the funeral.
And when it comes down to my mother,
I don't got to be invited to my mama's funeral. I'm going to the funeral. I don't give a damn who has something to say. The only how I would miss my mama's funeral is if I'm in jail. Other than that, I'm kicking in the door and I'm coming into my mama's funeral. And I better have a seat on the front row. I better have a seat on the front row. Okay? Now, Mary said that she was wondering where her mama's soul was, but I thought that in the story she was going to tell us that God told her that the soul was with him or that the mama was with him. Because she's the one who said that she was, that God be sending messages through her, and she didn't say that. So what we even bringing up the story for?
Do you really know? Do you really know?
No, you know.
Thank you.
Okay? She said something to each of the women from the pulpit. To me, none of it was real. It didn't really resonate with me. And I don't think that it was anything. I don't think that the higher power was speaking through her. It was nothing that convinced me that the higher power was speaking to her. And from what I've seen in this church, Mary couldn't lead me to the corner. She couldn't lead me to the corner. Okay? You can tell, though, that these women haven't really experienced anything like this before or used to anything like this before. And I know it because Lisa said that she was hot. And I think that Lisa was hot because the devil was behind the pulpit. Mary was behind the pulpit, and I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Okay? Now, Whitney had made the joke earlier that they would sweat like the two hookers in church, and now all of a sudden she said, I told you. I called it. They sweat like the two hookers in church. Okay? But y'all, that was pretty much the episode. But let me know in the comments what y'all think. Do y'all think that Mary is really a woman of the cloth? I don't like to play with God like that. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like with all of the Bible told us that we have seen on Bravo, they have been frauds. They've been fake and they've been phony. We got Thelonious Phaedra. She, claimed to be this Bible toter. You know what I'm saying? But she was a head doctor in high school, right? And we saw her making drug deals in the parking lot, getting drug money in the parking lot, right? And so, no. And then we got Mary, who is married to her grandmother's husband. That seems like a fraud to me. She could lead me to the corner. Your grandmother ain't told you to marry her husband. And I'm standing on that. Your grandmama ain't told you nothing like that. Okay? And do y'all think that Bronwyn is playing in Todd's face and trying to make her great escape? Because I feel like that she playing in his face. All this, because when she sat down with Todd, she started whispering to herself, I can do this, before she downed that Dr. Pepper. And it's giving Razzie Award. It's giving bad acting to me. And I feel like that you're trying to make this man leave you. And I'm not mad that you get your coins, get your things, all right? But y'all, that's all I got right now. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.